Hey, this is Blake from the Gig Harbor Fly Shop, and today we're going to be tying up a salmon bucktail fly, and this is a great fly for fishing for coho out in the saltwater. And so I love fishing this thing up in like Tofino on Vancouver Island, but fish them around here in Gig Harbor area, Puget Sound, Hood Canal as well. It's usually, if it's going to be a cast fly, I will tie it with dumbbell eyes, more of like a clouser style. If it's just going to be trolled, then this is the way to tie it, so it's unweighted. And sometimes we'll even put a little bucktail spinner on the front of it, depending on how aggressive the fish are being or how spread out they are. So we have fly tying material kits available for these, and so you get all the stuff needed to tie them up. But I'm going to go over the materials on the first one that we're going to tie, which is the pink over white. And we have a couple other colors that we really like. The chartreuse over white is great. Tutti Frutti, which is kind of like a pink, and chartreuse over white is awesome. There's one called a Tofino Special, which is a pink over orange over white. And then there's like a more natural color, like a herring color. There's some other colors as well, but we're going to do the step-by-step on the pink and white in this video. And then at the end, I'll kind of talk through some of the other colors and materials to be able to use. But for the pink and white, this is how it starts. So we start with the SC15 1/0 hook, and it's important to have a fairly stout hook for that front hook that's a little bit heavy, because it's going to keel the fly. And then we're going to have a stinger hook off the back of off that. We're going to use this Fireline material for that stinger hook. Then for the belly, we're going to be tying in white UV white Steve Farrar SF Flash blend with some UV minnow belly from Hairline, and then we'll tie in some pink of that SF Flash blend, and then we're gonna have some different flash. So there's a Chroma Flash in pink, a Senyo's Barred Predator Wrap in pink, the fluorofiber hot pink or fluorescent pink, and angel hair fluorescent pink. We'll stack a bunch of that kind of stuff to give it some brightness. It'll be great. And then also for the body, we'll tie in this mini flat braid, pearl, silver, doesn't really matter, but we'll tie this in earlier. I did this kind of out of order, but those are the materials. So let's get started. Just using Viva 6/0 white for this right now, but a lot of times I'll use heavier, like the 100 GSP. Okay, so here's my 30-pound Fireline. Stuff's pretty gnarly. You probably don't want to try to cut it with your scissors. I use a pair of I have a pair of braid scissors that I use for it, just because it's so tough. So it's easy to make the hook too far back. So since I'm using the 6/0 and not the GSP, I can't crank down as hard on it, and I need to be a little bit more careful and put extra thread wraps. So if it's a long piece like that, sometimes I'll even double it back over again, just a little bit. Just to make sure it's not going anywhere. Okay, I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of the UV flow, just to make sure that all that stuff is locked in place. Okay, you can use all sorts of different types of braid, pearl, silver. I'm going to use silver on this one. I could hit it with UV flow. I'm gonna do it. Just gonna shortcut it, but just a little bit of UV on it. If this thing gets munched on by a handful of fish, I don't want that braid to come unraveled on me. Okay, so now I'm going to tie in my UV SF Flash blend. Usually pull some out, double it over, and then I usually use about half of that, save the other half for the next fly. So, and I can always cut this to length if needed. So now, because I want to make sure this fly keels and all of the, so I'm going to tie all the material on the top of the fly. Nothing's going to go underneath it. So I'm going to tie in this white here. Now, I did not put my stinger hook on there. I'm going to loop that on at the end. Just, it's a little bit safer. Okay, here's my UV minnow belly. And for this stuff, I like to just run, I just kind of run it along the side. Like that. Now I'm going to do my pink SF Flash blend. I'm going to do this. This is about the length of the white. This stuff creates good body for the fly. But now we're going to start tying in the stuff that's going to really give the fly some color. So, Senyo's Barred Predator Wrap. I'm just going to chop. Okay, I'm going to cut a little bit of the Predator Wrap and just going to lay this on the top. The length of the pink, or maybe just a little bit, maybe even just a little bit longer. Okay, the Chroma Flash in pink. I'm going to tie in, I don't know, maybe six or seven strands, and this is going to get doubled over the back. And then the fluoro fiber. Don't need a ton of this stuff. And I kind of wiggle it a little bit on there so it spreads out. I want it to be kind of wide. Okay, and then the fluorescent pink angel hair, and this stuff's kind of weird. It's different than a lot of the other angel hair. It's more of a, it's like plasticky feeling. But I use a good amount on this guy, so. Now this stuff can break from a fish because of the thinner diameter. Once again, I wiggle my thumb just a little bit so that it spreads the material out, so it's not too stacked all in one place. The length looks good, and I'll actually double this over just to kind of bulk the fly up a little bit more. Okay, after I tie that fly off, then I tie in the UTC thread in fluorescent pink. These are the 1/8 super pearl eyes. Key is to not use too much of that float. You don't want it to build up too much. You can always add another coat. I use UV thin a lot on these heads, but I don't have UV thin with me right now, just the flow. So, but flow's great for locking stuff in place. Thin's nice for finishing stuff off. Okay, there it is. Here's the salmon bucktail. This is a great fly for coho, and sometimes we'll hook other salmon on it too, kings, etc. And then now I would loop that that octopus style hook on the back in a size 2 or 4. Okay, for the chartreuse and white bucktail, this is what comes in our material kit. But there's gonna be the SF Flash blend with the minnow belly on the bottom part of it. It comes with the SC15 hook with the Fireline and the and a size 2 stinger hook. 1/8 eyes for the sticker eyes as well. But here's the stuff that's kind of different than the pink one that we just did. The Senyo's metallic barred predator wrap gold chartreuse. We're gonna have that tied in over the chartreuse SF Flash blend, and then Chroma Flash in chartreuse. I love this stuff. This is a really great color. Some fluoro fiber in chartreuse, angel hair in fluorescent lime, and then for the Tofino special one, it's a little bit. I like to tie it a little bit differently. So comes with the hook and eyes, the Fireline, all that kind of stuff. But here's where it changes up. For the colors, it's still going to be the UV belly and white SF Flash blend on the bottom. And then we're going to have orange for the SF Flash blend with this Chroma Flash in orange over that. And then on the top, we will put this Ice Wing in salmon berry on top of that Chroma Flash, and then we top the fly with this electric ripple ice fiber in the fluorescent hot pink. This stuff just lights up in the water. It's pretty cool. And then I like to take the this lateral scale, and I just take one strand of lateral scale and I just put it on either side of the fly, and maybe just a couple inches, I mean 2 inches, and that's it. So those are the materials, and you can get any of the material kits on our website, and the links are in the description below. Thanks.